Hello Sumates, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we'll be learning how to make this beautiful 4-neck corset. Now if this looks like what you want to know how to make, you can stick around as we draft. This is part 1, so we'll be drafting. So I took my time to explain everything in detail. Okay, so this is the inside of the corset. You can see how neatly done it is. Then this is the outside. It is kind of not giving me this when I iron. I realize that this is the shades I use, it is stretching. The more I iron it, the more this rumpled came out of it. So to get started, I have the 1 yard of the dushes, I have 1 yard of the lining, then I have my hairstay, I have my wadding, and I also used fiber which I didn't show in this video, then our sewable boning. So that's the fiber. So the next thing we are going to do now is to draft. So to get started, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement first at the edge of the paper, which is 7.5. Then I'm using 1/2 inch for the shoulder slope for this corset, because at the end of the day it's not carrying the shoulder, so I use 1/2 inch as shoulder slope. From that 1/2 inch I measure 8 inches downwards to get my chest line measurement. So 8 inches plus 1/2 inch will give you 8.5, so I marked 8.5. I got the bust point, which is 10.5 for my bust point, and I got the under bust area, which is 14 inches. Then I got the full length. You know the front waistline is lower than the back waistline with 2 inches, so I marked 17 inches. Then the full length of the blouse, it should not be more than 23 inches. 22 is perfect also, because if it's long you will not be comfortable sitting with it. So I'm just marking all the lines so I can rule a straight line where all the circumference measurements will be resting on. So like I was saying at the beginning, the dushes I used, the more I ironed it, when I was done, the more I ironed it, the more it was like, it was swelling up from the, like it was stretching. So that's why you see it rumpled like that. So I would advise, if you don't know about qualities of dushes, I think crepe will be easier for you to work on. Okay, so I went ahead to label it, the chest line, the bust point, the under bust, and the waistline. So I'm going to impute my shoulder measurement on the chest line so I can get the armhole line. So I'm going to roll a straight line to get the armhole line. I'll go ahead and mark the standard neck width measurement, which is 3 inches on the shoulder, so that I can create my shoulder slope. So I'm going to mark from the 3 inches on the neckline to the 1/2 inches I came down with for the shoulder slope, and that's what we have. Now for the armhole line, we're going to divide it into 2, mark the midpoint and go in by 1/2 inch. So after that, to create the armhole curve, I'm going to impute my chest measurement on my bust measurement on the chest line. So after that, from that bust measurement, I'm going to connect to the 1/2 inch I came in with at the midpoint of the armhole line, like so. So we're just connecting the armhole lines together. Don't forget that this corset, we're using the bustier pattern to get this corset. Okay, so after that I went ahead to impute my nipple to nipple measurement is 4 inches. That's after you've divided it by 2 is 8 inches, divide by 2 is 4. So I marked from the bust point straight to the lower part. I'm supposed to mark from the chest line. I'm going to extend it as we go forward. So my dart intake is 2.5. So I'm going to use 1 inch on one side and 1.5 on the other side. That makes it unequal dart. Okay, that works perfect for me. So I'm going to mark 1 inch to this side, then mark 1.5 inch to the other side to sum up for the 2.5 as dart intake, and I'm going to roll a straight line connecting the dart lines together. So after that, on the chest line area, we are going to extend it like I said. So on the shoulder part, I'm going to divide what's left in that part into 2 to get the midpoint. So after getting the midpoint, I'm going to mark it. Then I will extend this that leg to the chest line. Like I said, it is meant to stop at the chest line. So after extending it to the chest line, it is from that chest line now I'm going to now extend another dart to the midpoint that we just marked on the shoulder. So after that, the next thing I want to do now is to connect the dart legs. So on the bust point, I came down by half inch and I went up by half inch. Then I placed my ruler to make the curve at that point. So you don't make it too curvy so that at the end of the day your bustier will not be pointing. So I went ahead to take my waist measurement plus the 2.5 of an inch we are using as that intake. So after marking it, I went ahead to connect it from the chest line to the waistline. So I went ahead to connect it on the hip line. Also, you're going to take your hip measurements, then you add the 2.5 of an inch of that intake. You're also going to add it. So here I'm reconnecting, I'm making sure the lines extends to the end. So now here is the hip part. I will impute my hip measurement. I will add the 2.5 of that intake to it. So let's say your that intake is 2 inches or 1.5. You know what you should do. You add that after taking your actual measurement. So I went ahead to connect it, and my bust, my side that is usually 2 inches, so I went ahead to measure 2 inches downwards and I connected it. So on the upper part of the from the bust point, I came in by 4.5 of an inch from the bust point, which makes it 2.5 of an inch from the chest line, right? So on the chest line I came down by half an inch too. So from this half an inch I came down with on the chest line, I'm going to connect it to the mark I just made at the that area, which is the 4.5 I came up with, like so. So after connecting it, I'm going to place this ruler the other way to connect it to the armhole area. So after connecting it to the armhole area like this, we are going to create our tightening, which is half inch to the left and half inch to the right. So after marking it, we are going to connect with our ruler like so. So you're connecting it to the half inch I came up with from the bust point earlier, like that. Then on the other side, you're going to do the same thing also. So after connecting it like so, we're just creating tightening that will give us, that will make the upper part not to gape. So I went ahead to slit the bust dart open because we need to close some darts, but for you to close you need to open some also. So I went ahead to slit the darts on the bust side and on the shoulder side open. So I'm going to be able to drag the one on the upper part close a little bit to check my markings, because most times if you don't put it together to check your curves, it will not align. But you can see that mine is just a very slight difference. Okay, so after that I'm going to, like, after placing it, I'm going to reconnect with my ruler. The difference is very small, but it is very important you blend your lines always after creating any tightening, okay, or making any curves. You should make sure that they align. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do on the chest line, whatsoever is coming out as the tightening on the chest line, we are going to return it to the side. Okay, so I added it back to that point and I'm going to close the side dart. So I'm just going to tape it down, and after closing the side dart, we are going to reconnect the straight line from the chest line to the waistline. Now don't forget that we return like a quarter of an inch on the chest line, because you know the tightening on the chest line, we are going to be cutting it away, so you have to replace it so that your measurement does not become short or you don't experience any shortage at the end of the day. So I went ahead to reconnect from the chest line to the waistline, because after taping the bust dart, it did not align anymore. So from the new measurements we had here, I'm going to reconnect the armhole line too. So from the quarter of an inch I added, now I'm reconnecting the armhole line. Don't forget that we've not added any sewing allowance to this pattern we are drafting. So after reconnecting the armhole line, The next thing we are going to do, I just went ahead to clean the place so that the lines are not too much and they are not confusing. So after that, the next thing we are going to do now is to divide the remaining part on the waistline. Is a corset, so we're not just going to leave that part as a whole. So I went ahead to divide what's left into two. I went to the left by quarter of an inch, to the right by quarter of an inch. I ruled a straight line connecting the dart legs. I rule a straight line following the division I marked at the middle for the waistline. So after rolling a straight line straight down, I'm going to connect the dart legs from the quarter of an inch to the left and to the right. We're going to connect the dart legs like we do our normal dart when we are drafting our basic pattern. So it's quarter of an inch together will make it half inch in total that we're removing from that part. So after doing that, I will go ahead and cut. So you can see what I'm doing here. So I still didn't cut it completely because we are going to create the curve. We are cutting two parts in this corset. One part is the cup itself, then the other part is the curve where the cup is coming on. Okay, so I came down on the chest line by 1 inch. Then from the armhole line, I came in by 1 inch. So we are going to connect the lines together. From the 1 inch I came in from the armhole line to the 1 inch I came down with on the chest line. So in case your ruler exceeded the 1 inch you came down with, just connect it like so. Okay, so after connecting my like this, I realized that it is not curvy enough, so I decided to blend it with my hand. If you're very good with blending with your hands, you can also do that. Like, just connect this curvy part according to your preference. Okay, so after connecting it this way, I'm going to go ahead and cut. But don't forget that we're not cutting this curvy part we just created out first, because we need the full pattern to get the cup part before we now cut this part away. So as we proceed, you'll see how it is done so you don't get confused. So what I'm going to do now, on the lower part I came up by 1.5 of an inch and I connected with my curve ruler. That's just to make sure that when you wear it, this place is not so tight on your body, like you're giving it a little opening to be free on your body. So I went ahead to do that. I'm going to cut all the that away. Then after cutting it all out, all the tightening, all the darts, we're cutting everything away. So after cutting it, this is what we have. This is me trimming the other side of the tightening out. So this is what we have. Okay, so now we are going to keep this aside. If you look at it very well, you'll see that I did not also slit the other side open yet, because we need it to get this bustier part. Is a bustier that is coming on top, but is an under bust busty. Okay, so now you place this pattern on a fresh paper to make it easier for you, so you don't draft two. So place this pattern on a fresh paper, go ahead and pin it down, then you cut accordingly. Like I said, the cup we are making that we are going to place on it is starting from the under bust. So this paper I'm pinning down now, whatever I'm cutting will end on the under bust. So it is what we're cutting out from here now, what we use to create the cup. Okay, so this part I did not forward it so that you understand what I am saying very well, you don't get confused. So I cut out this part to the under bust, that's the under bust. Then I'm going ahead to trace the other parts following all the curves necessary. So after cutting this part away, I will go on the under bust. I'm raising the main pattern up to go on the other bust and cut a straight line. I'm following that under bust line, so that by the time the paper come out, you see that it is just ending at the under bust. Then I'm going to trace out this other side also. Don't forget that this is the center front, so I'm tracing it out also, and all my cutting is also going to end at the under bust, and this is the under bust. So I'm going to open it up and cut it following the line also. So after doing all of this, I'm going to remove the paper for us to see what we've done. So this method is easier than you going to have another full pattern or drafting another one just to get the cup part. Okay, so now that we've done this, the cup is ready. So I'm going to go ahead. Can you see what we've done? This is what we've cut out. You can see how it is, right? So on the side of it, like this, on the side of it, I'm going to come in by 1 inch and make a curve, because the cup now is not going to extend to the side. So I came in by 1 inch and I connected it to the underbust. From that 1 inch I'm marking, then I'm going to connect it to the underbust to make a curve. Same way you curve when you're making your bustier. It's the same thing we're doing, because it's a bustier we're using for the upper part. So after making the curve like so, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Don't forget, you're not cutting on the main paper, you're only cutting on this one that we're using to create the cup. So after cutting it out like that, I'm going to keep it aside. Then on this other curve that we made, I'm going to cut it out also. You see this other curve we are going to take out this dart. Normally we'll be taking out this dart, but you see the curve we made on the upper part. I'm just going to cut it away, so that gives us that part that is open where the cup is coming in. This is it that we have created like this, and I hope you're not confused. So this other part that is becoming the cup is coming under it. I'm just illustrating to us with the paper to know what we are doing. So I'll go ahead and remove the dart from the other side. I'm cutting the dart away, and by the time I'm done with the dart, the front pattern is ready. Very simple and very easy, not complicated at all. So we're going to go ahead to cut. I went ahead to label it 1 2 3, so I don't misplace one for the other. So I'll go ahead to draft the back pattern. So here I have my pattern. I went ahead to like get my chest line and the waistline. Then on the shoulder, I marked 3 inches for the neck. Then I'm creating the shoulder slope with 1/2 inch also. So I divided what's left into two. Then I'm going to take my chair and bust measurement, and I'm connecting straight to the midpoint of the armhole. We're not coming in by any inch, so you're just connecting it to the midpoint like so. So after doing that, I'll go ahead to take my waist measurement and I'll add 1 inch to it as dart intake, because we are doing the basic dart intake for the back. Then I'll go ahead and impute my hip measurement. So after that, I'm going to connect all the lines together like so. So after connecting all the lines, don't forget that by the side I added extra 1.5 of an inch to extend the side on the waistline. So I went ahead to impute my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inch, after dividing by 2. Then I'm marking, we added 1 inch to the waistline, so I'm marking 1/2 inch to the left and 1/2 inch to the right. Then I'm going to connect the dart legs together. Like I said, for the front pattern also, I added extra 1.5 of an inch to the side on the hip measurement area, because it needs to be open. It's not meant to just sit on your hip or fitted to just slap you like that, so that you have freedom to sit and be comfortable. So on the chest line, I came up by 1 inch because I felt like I don't want it to be too low, right? So I came up by 1 inch and I connected the dart legs up. Then I connected the dart line up. So I'm going to connect the dart legs to the waistline like so. So after doing that, the back is ready like this. It's very easy to make. Then we are going to divide the other side into two also, like we did for the front pattern, and we are going to do the dart intake of 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch to the left and right. So that will be the dart intake for the back. So for this corset, I didn't do any snatching, in case you don't know how to snatch. I have a detailed video of it on my channel. Go and see it. So I didn't do any snatching. I just wanted it to be comfortable. So I came up by 2 inches for the back. The reason is because the front is not meant to be as long. I mean, the back is not meant to be as long as the front. So I'm going to, the extra inches that added to this paper length, I'm going to mark it away from this. But don't forget, so I came in by 2.5 of an inch, not 2 inches, on the sides to create that curve. So I'm going to mark 1 inch straight away to remove the excess distance to make sure that the front and back is equal. So if you're measuring 24 in total for the front, the back should be 22, because when you remove the side that the front is shorting, right? So that's what I did here. I just make sure that it is equal in length. Then I went ahead to create a curve on it. So I will just go ahead and cut. So what I did on that part, adding extra half inches, because after cutting it, I measured the extra 1.5 of an inch I added to the lower part. So I have to extend it up so that it is equal. So like this, the front and back is ready. So what we are going to do now, we are going to cut on the fabric. So part 2, we'll be sewing it from the bust caging area to every detail, the boning, every detail of it. We will be showing us in the part 2 of the video. So see you in the part 2. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and share for others to see. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I wish to see you in the part 2 of the video. So this is me cutting the pattern out. In the part 2, it will be well explained. Everything will be well explained. So after cutting the fabric, I went ahead to cut the lining, the hairstay, the wording, and everything. So bye.